So to start off with the Air Voxels, I'm just going to place out a reactor there.
Okay.
I'll just use this one here. What I'm going to do is reset this back to just basic. Which is basically having the default voxel in the center.
Should be able to paste a prime in the center and it reset the whole thing.
Sure does. There we go. Now, here we visually see that voxel there. And then we could take the same thing and have the Air Voxel to match.
Okay.
Now, the one thing we'll be dealing with there is you have to have a handle in your selection box to grab it, no matter what.
Okay.
The selection tool does not grab it by itself. Actually used to, but you wouldn't be able to move around your selection box. There, so it shows that we have that error and we copied it and did the same thing as any of the etching tools. Now, to take this one step further, is we can shape that error. So let's just take a weird shape here and see our boards.
Yeah, I don't have a lot over here. Most of this is just stuff we've kind of thrown together as we're building.
Okay, actually what we'll do is use that quick method to make a line strip.
Okay. Now, if you want me to, I can drop some boards down for you if you need it.
Well, this will be suffice to prove the concept.
Okay.
Now what I'll do is I'll first input the shape to the 1 so I can see what I'm working with. Okay. So you got your visual on the one side. And just copy the outside 4 handles.
All right, so we've basically created an air voxel that looks exactly like the shape we just put in there.
Exactly.
He's basically taken the handles from this here that he has created by using this central voxel, and he created that voxel over here by stacking up several voxels and then smoothing it. He took the center one and pasted it into the center of this, and then just copied the handles from these voxels here and pasted it here. And basically, it forms that center voxel into the shape of this voxel that he has placed here. And now he has taken another voxel and pasted it up here at the very top to use as a handle. And
you can put that handle anywhere you want. I mean, I just want to do that there so I can put it in the wall and show that shape going through a line.
Yeah, and he's rotated it because he placed it on the top. He rotated it to the side and pasted it that one voxel gap away, which that one voxel gap is due to the actual blocks that are around it. But he needs that airspace in between the actual shape and the handle, so when he pasted it on the wall, he's literally used it as an etcher here. All right. All yours.
Yep, and basically you can make any etching tool you want out of any shape you see.
That's really cool.
So now you're, as many shapes as we could see in the game, there are as many air etching tools as we have. So there's no real need of having boards with etching tools when we have the negative sitting right there. In my opinion, anyway. So this could save some room for some people.
I got you. That's pretty cool.
Okay, and then to use air even more so, what I've done is I've taken it a couple steps further. So we'll look at this gate we made here and trust.
Well, Mr. Volker? Can I ask a question?
Sure.
That voxel that you just did in the reactor, once you paste it into the wall and make the hole, is there a way to copy that and continue, say maybe you want to make it longer, or do you have to do that in the reactor?
No, your paste selection will keep that. Or you could just copy that out of the hole with the surrounding voxels, depending on what you're doing with it. So that's what I'm going to go into here a little bit more about grabbing any type of air with handles. So if you see a hole in the wall like that, you just put a handle in front of it.
So he put a voxel just away from an existing hole like this, and basically just copied it out and copied that whole 3 voxel section, and he can use that over and over again as long as that shape is already existing.
Okay, so I'm setting up here for, as I put these 2 lines in the floor to just show what's going on with the air as I'm placing it. What I'm going to do over here is put a handle in front of your design. See in my selection box, that's the area I'm going to grab.
Okay. And he's just grabbing just the air that's next to this design pattern that's formed right here. He's just grabbing the air next to it using a handle. Okay. And he's pasting the air itself right next to the ground here. You can see it's coming up with these different shapes and all this kind of stuff. And if you ever notice, you know, when you made something that's on the ground and you delete it, the ground stays with those deformations and stuff all over the ground, right? Well, it's because the shapes that are right there that were up against it already existed. Well, when you delete it out, the shapes under it have already formed up, and that's where you get like the strange stuff on the floor. Well, the voxels that are around that space are still there. They're not square anymore. The voxels that are literally just above that.
And then this here is a technique for cleaning up work without having to layer something, delete a slice. You could just take the air of that shape. See it on this, or the section I pulled out of the floor, the shape on this side is good, but the back, of course, doesn't look that good because it didn't get shaped. So now what we'll do is just paste this shape onto it, but with the air only.
Okay. Yeah, that came out really clean.
Yep, because we're using the exact same shape on either side.
Sweet. So,
and you could change, this also applies to putting different shapes on either side as well.
Now, when you copied this over here, did you have to mirror it in any way to be able to get the other side of it?
Yeah, I had, well, this air, I always visualize that the point that's touching the floor is what has to touch my plate.
Okay. I figured
that's the hardest part about working with air is you got to visualize your surface, but you can't see it, right? So
okay.
You use your handle and just get a marker in your brain.
Yeah, I had to ask that question just for those that aren't familiar with this type of a technique or anything. So.
Now, what's cool with this that I found out for making some cool walls.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a really cool like texturing technique. Oh wow! So he's copied out the very center of what he just did, and he's literally just stacking it up. And look at the texture on that wall. That's really cool. See if I can get over here. And the cool thing is, it's like when you're pasting it in, I mean, the shadows are kind of showing from the moon or something over here, but I mean, it's really clean, and it has that raised surface there. It really stands out.
Yeah, this is another technique that we were playing with that brick wall that you saw from Brucon.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're trying to get more of a textured, detailed wall that's more three-dimensionally textured instead of just visually textured. And because we made that pattern inside as a three-part pattern, you know those two pieces sticking out exactly match.
That's really cool.
And that came all from your fence here, just using the air, you know,
and
screwing around.
Yeah, that was actually the predecessor, me playing around and screwing around, trying to make lattice.
See, all this finally leads to some great stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's where air can really be beneficial to building, because you can use it a little bit cleaner than using, say, a shape voxel, trying to shape stuff and trying to retain that, you know, without deleting something in a corner resetting or any of the problems that we arise from using solid voxels. Like, I've been able to help people fix arches that are in a delicate spot of their build by first taking out, copying the air of it, going up there and fixing the arch with its air, and then leaving it alone because the air can stay.
That's really wicked.
So it's just something for people to think about, to expand their horizon on the other building tool that I don't see a lot of people use.
Well, usually it's because, you know, when you don't see this type of a technique ever used, it's usually because people aren't aware of it.
That's true, because with the air too, it's been mistaken, like, not to knock the use of anti-voxel, but the anti-voxel was basically the smallest air voxel, right? So we could kind of look at it like the micro air voxel. And then when you got like this air string in here, a lot of people confuse that as an anti-voxel string, but that's just an air string. Same with like this one we make here, Chema, where we align back up the micro.
Yep.
That's just aligning the string back up to the faces, right?
Yes.
To me, now that we got inverted voxels, I would almost say the anti-voxel should be an inverted voxel.
Well, I only refer to this as an anti-voxel just because of the shape. It's not because it's any different in any way. It's just the actual shape of it itself is because it literally extends from one side to the other side. Even though it's still a voxel, it's not exactly a microvoxel, because to me a microvoxel is basically, it's where all sides have been compressed. Where when I look at this, you know, I just call it an anti-voxel just because it's what is closest to look like an anti-voxel, you know, because it's pressed on all but two sides.
Yep, no worries. I mean, the names have gone all over the place. I just was saying that, to me, I look at voxels in two ways. There's the visual and the air.
Yes.
And the air is, we got as many techniques to use the air as we do the visual ones.
Yeah, I
just got to use handles.
I kind of like totally threw out the whole entire naming convention that I've seen everywhere, you know, like zero data voxels and ZZL, what the fuck was that type stuff. I've kind of got away with all that, and I just try to narrow it down to like 3 or 4 terms, and that's about it.
Same here. I've been trying to just stick with more basic terms. There's another trick with air voxels too, where we could just shape one corner and run it through a voxel. Have you ever done that? Kind of like a putty voxel, but it's on the shape side instead of the texture side.
Shoot, let's do it.
Okay, we need to be over here, down below ground.
Okay.
This technique was actually first found out by SOOO.
I'm not sure if you
we
have...
work pretty close together.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have permissions on that side, that's Rave's side. Come over here, I've got a big open area down here. Plenty of space up in here.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I chopped this out earlier today. This is probably where I'm going to put boards at.
Okay, so a 3x3 cube.
Okay.
And I'm not sure a lot of people realize, but 3x3, this cube here is very important to the game because it's the basic of the game. When you look at the cube, when we place it in the game, it affects all these 26 cubes that are around it. And that's what we do with reactors to react with the center one is all these 26.
Now, has that changed since they introduced Roman voxel? Hasn't it been extended to a 5x5?
No, what's actually happened is the visual has extended. So now we have a 1.5 range off the prime voxel for the visual voxel to go. But always remember the ownership sticks to the center voxel.
Okay.
So that hasn't been extended. And that allows, like that you saw me make upstairs,
Okay.
that was only possible because of Roman vectors.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't exactly sure if the Roman vectors actually had extended that or not. I know that the 3x3, or excuse me, 3x3x3 was the basis, but I wasn't sure if it had actually extended due to the Roman vectors. And I know that you can literally take a single voxel and stretch it out to, you know, 2 extra voxels outside of its space.
Yeah, 1.5. I have it right here, I'll show you. So this is where it extends now. And but still that 1.5 extra that goes, all that's just visual. There's no ownership tag there. So if we placed a voxel right beside here, it wouldn't actually react with this voxel.
Yeah, well, I'm running my mouse over top of that voxel right there, so they can literally see that the shape of it right now. Like literally, I have that center voxel selected. I'm going to just copy that one voxel, and if I paste it, you can see this actual size of this thing. This thing is freaking huge, but that is a single voxel right there, and that is due to the roaming vectors and being able to make larger sizes based on one single voxel. That's really awesome.
Here, I'll pull up the other maximum one that we had prior, just so you have a comparison.
Now technically, I could take that one voxel shape right there and use it to stretch a single voxel out to a full cube size. Technically I should be able to, if I play with it long enough. I know this is probably dragging you a little bit off course, but yeah, sorry, I gotta play.
No worries, because this gets out to the people the differences of what's been extended. So this is the max prior to roaming vectors, is this one here in the gold reactor. And then this is the new max. But both of these were just visual. Like this one went halfway visually, and this goes in a full voxel and a half visually past the prime. So with this one here, we're able to put one airspace between it. And this one here, we can actually put 3.
Okay.
But,
Get him, boy! Get him!
yeah, she protects me good.
It's a good dog. It's a good dog.
Oh, I love her.
That's really cool.
Okay, so one thing with this air reactor here,
Okay.
that's what I like to call it, because right now it's empty, no data whatsoever.
So you're basically taking a corner voxel from this to replace inside this here?
Yeah, and what I did too is I deleted the center field voxel out of this. I'm just going to copy that one corner. Okay, so it's in the same position so we could see the difference when I start to pull this out.
All right, let me kind of reiterate what he has just done right quick. He's basically already has this shape here that he has used previously, and he's basically copied that one corner piece right here. This over here is a 3x3, and he has selected the center voxel out of this 3x3x3 and deleted it. So all that is sitting in there is a single voxel of airspace. Okay, and he has taken that corner piece and pasted it onto this one corner of this healed earth area. All right.
Yep. And then I put on the handle on this side. I'm going to reach in and grab that air.
Okay.
And I put this post of voxels out over here just to show what's going to happen there.
Oh, cool. It has that shaping of that corner. That's really cool.
Oh, 1 second here. I forgot to paste it out there.
Oops. It still looks cool. You can see that where it actually had pulled that corner, which, you know.
Oh no, just 1 second. I made a mistake.
No problem.
Doing some experimenting earlier today and I forgot. This technique actually, you keep the block solid, don't delete the center one out. There we go. So, and then you paste right there.
Okay, I got you. That's a pretty cool way of making a blade. It's perfect for the for those that were working on the Dark Elf stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just one way to say if you just want to affect 2 corners of something that you have already in your build, you can go and use this technique to just be able to work on those 2 corners.
All right.
Or 3, 4, all the way up to all 8 of them.
Now, Sonny in our chat here says he has a question.
Sure, fire away.
And it may take a second for him to respond.
No worries. I'm in no rush.
Okay, well, it wasn't about what you were doing. Never mind. Carrying on.
Okay.
It happens.
So you see the principle of this, eh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, this is really cool because, I mean, just by modifying that one voxel in this, around that airspace, now that we have that healed earth around it, it's easier to make a copy of just that. So,
yeah.
That
And also, just a correction, Tim, I remade this without that airspace in the center.
okay.
That was actually, I was working on another experiment. I was getting the information across in my head.
Ah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, so it's a solid block of peeled earth, and because you got to keep the middle one healed, so that way when you paste with air, it's not deleting what's already here. So all we're doing is transferring the corner position that we affected without affecting anything else in that data.
I got you. And that's why the bottom of it has that little divot inwards compared to the rest of it. Because we're only affecting...
if I took this down one, it would bring it down and match that corner. So we worked in the top right.
I got you. Because we're only affecting that one corner part of that voxel space. I gotcha.
See here, I'll grab this other corner and we'll redo it just to see how this one does it too.
Okay.
So it would be the bottom corner, the opposite complementary corner, as we like to call it. Alright, we can see the opposite corner now is lighted as well.
That's pretty cool. So you can actually see, like right here is where he pulled it out before, and now he's worked with the opposing corner over here, and you can actually see where it actually worked. Instead of the top of the voxel, it's now at the bottom corner of the voxel, because that's the corner that got pulled outwards.
And you can notice the top has the dent now too, on the backside,
where the bottom doesn't. So it's literally, you're working with the opposing corner. That's really cool.
And Tim, have I ever showed you the voxel molds?
I don't think so.
Okay, you gotta see this. I figured this out back in Alpha. And actually
And the reason why there's that reverb is because I have my, what do you call it? My mic is constantly open as long as somebody's talking. So that's where that reverb is coming from. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay, so what I've done is this 3 voxels high, 5 wide. I just cut a strip out of the center. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to encase this with 2 more voxel thick lid.
Okay. I switched over to push to talk, so the reduction should go pretty good.
And this is all healed. There's no real voxels here.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to do is start smoothing this. And actually, before I do that, what I usually do is I get the color of the ground almost as important.
Okay.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, if you have the color of the healed soil or the healed voxel in your up in your left-hand corner building menu,
Okay.
it will show you because it'll start minusing off voxels when it's actually making something in this. Because right now it's just an airspace in there with healed voxels. We didn't put no voxels in from our stash. I healed it, or smoothed it 10 times there.
Okay.
Now, I'll let you do this point because this is the easiest way for you to show your viewers. Select that whole piece and then paste whatever you get out of it right beside it, or by me.
So we're going to select the whole entire thing. Yep, I forgot. I turned on push to talk. So selecting the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing, and then just copy and paste whatever you get out of it. Remember, when I set it all up, it was just an airspace all the way through it.
Ha ha!
Voxel airspace for about
Ooh.
however long that was.
Oh, that's cool. That's a huge
Now you got a
string.
big string.
Oh, that is wicked. That is really cool.
And then where I took that next was where you've seen, probably everybody's seen on the Voxel board, is the one thing I contributed back that made it to the sport backs and help was this. It's using the same principle. This needs casing material. I'm just going to make it a little bit here. So I have 4 cut out there. And then I want to have another 4 above it, so I'm just going to raise this wall up a bit. Okay, so we got 8 holes, or 8 voxels deleted out of the center there, with a 3 voxel thick barrier of healed soil. I'm going to smooth this about 13 times. And I get that cube, this one here, but if you go to color this cube,
So you pulled out the single cube from this over here.
Yep, it made this cube in there. If I smooth it more, it comes out a little bit more squared up.
Oh, okay. Well, I was looking at it kind of funky there. I was thinking you just pulled out the single cube there, but it's actually
8 cubes.
yes, it's like the old quarter or 1/8 voxel.
Yeah, you probably see it on the boards. The one that's up on the boards just from this.
Yeah, these don't come out quite as clean as they used to. I remember at one time these things came out really clean.
Yep, you can still throw it up in your reactor and get it picks up the corners. That's what I usually do.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. That's really
But that's
cool.
how that was made. And then the other one that was made was that 3-way string. You know, that little tiny string that goes in 3 different directions within a voxel.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. And I'm guessing that's pretty much the same way as how you came up with this string here.
Yeah, well, the idea was I made a 3x3 cube, kept that middle empty, and then I was thinking to myself, well, I wonder if I broke it open, like had the mold actually break the airspace inside to the outside airspace, what would happen? So basically, you just over smooth this until you bust the center open.
Okay. This is actually a really cool shape. It's like it's trying to retain the center shape at the same time of distorting the outside sections of it.
I haven't tried this since the new smoothing. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it like I used to. Because before it would smooth unevenly, so one corner would pop open first. So I guess I can't do that anymore. I'm going to have to figure out another way to do that.
Yeah, take a look at that. I mean, it's like it's trying to retain that center shape as much as possible, so everything else around it just kind of deteriorates.
Yeah, no, that's a cool shape, actually.
That's really cool.
But it's something to do with, and then also you could put in boxes, like put one single voxel at this end and one way over here at this end. They'll stretch out, sometimes even moving from one voxel location to the other. It's kind of interesting, these voxel molds. I haven't fully explored them. I've been playing around with them lots. Actually, I have a lot of experiments with the Roman vectors and water bit boxes for the molds as well, coming up. Just haven't got to it yet. It's one thing for people to play with, because you can basically kind of design a negative out of air and then smooth it so that it kind of appears within the mold.
That's really cool.
So I also made that, I'm not sure if you've seen that, the 6-way string that crosses itself in the center, that was made in voxel mold as well.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen like something similar to where it looked like a kind of like a star. It was on one of the boards, and I actually played around with that quite a bit. Yeah, I saw that one. Then there was the one that looked like a star. Let me pull up one of my boards here and see if I can pull it out of it.
And what I liked about this one too is this one you can enter parts into the center and it gives you the matching pieces.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. The one that looked like a star. It's right here in this corner.
Oh yeah, I made that one too. That's the one that I. This one here, yeah, there's one string. See the one in there? It's the middle. It's fatter towards the center. Then
Yeah.
the rest I have coming out to the other position. That one there, actually, what I've done to mine is I've taken that and reversed the corner as well. It works better the other way. This one here is, I consider my first attempt on it.
Yeah, I'll kind of show what this thing does when you put a voxel in it. So I take that shape and I literally put a voxel on the inside of that. You can see the actual shaping of it. You can see how it literally points down into the inside of it.
Yeah, and then that goes up to the triangles on the tops.
Yeah, and if you put voxels around it, you've got some pretty interesting shapes that will actually form out of this just by sitting there playing around with it. I mean, you can come up with some pretty interesting shapes just with tinkering around with it, especially since they added in Roman vectors, because I mean, look at this spike that just came out of this with the Roman vectors. Yeah, check out this roaming vector spike that came out of this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool some of the stuff you can do with this. Had to back it up so I didn't lose it. But you can see that Roman vector spike that just came out of pasting next to that thing. It's really cool.
There you go. I corrected yours. This is the way it should be. See how the fat tips are going out? That way the center one's left empty.
I got you.
That way you won't get that oddity happening in the top corner there, because it was facing in.
Still comes out really good though. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you can come out with some.
It's a fun tool, this one. I like this one. I played with this one for a good week. Yes, playing with the strings. This one and the three-way I did in the same thing. I'm not sure, you don't have the three-way out there. We'll grab that out for you.
Oops. Haha! I've seen this somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I saw it.
Yeah, this is my alpha collection. Everything I did in alpha is in here.
I've actually made quite a few of these shapes before.
Here's the string here. That's what I have. So red, not to come up real close, and then put your selection box on it. Look at it.
I'm trying to Where'd you paste it at?
Right here where my selection block is.
Okay, I got you.
I keep forgetting about the tables being visible. That's an easy way to explain this.
All right. We'll see if I can zoom in on this so they can actually see it on the screen.
Yeah, this is the shape that actually got me talking to Miguel over at Voxel Farm. I sent this to him going, what the hell, like, how's this even possible? And
Yeah.
give me a little lesson on how a voxel is actually voxels.
This is actually kind of cool because it literally is meeting to the ultimate prime shape, which is that center point or whatever you want to call it. My terminology might be a little off there, but it goes from the very corner pieces all the way down to the very center. That's really cool.
Yeah. And this piece I made by breaking open one of those molds. I've never been able to make this piece any other way. And now I have to figure out how I can break these molds now with this with the SOOO tool fix, because it's not doing the same way as before.
Now this shape that's actually been created here is only coming from 2 points.
This here has 3 points.
Okay, because I'm only seeing 2 for some reason. Maybe I'm just not angling it.
That's my 2.1. The other one here is this 3 point.
Oh, okay. I was thinking to say I only see 2 points here. That's really awesome. I'm gonna have to put something near that so I don't lose it.
And there's the other shape. And the thing with these ones, they only appear on a certain direction, so you got to turn them. You know about that. With certain shapes are unstable in certain directions.
I'm gonna paint the floor so I don't lose them.
And my selection box is on the 3-pointed one.
That is really wicked. It's kind of weird because it actually is coming from the apex of each one of those corners. I mean, it's literally the single ultimate position of that corner, but it only comes from 3 sides. That's really weird. Very freaking interesting.
Yeah, it was some fun finds back then. Really, actually, these extended my knowledge quite a bit once I found these and then started really messing with the voxels after that to understand what was going on.
Now, yeah, I put a voxel there so you can actually tell what corners are coming from because it's really, man, that is freaking awesome.
So I'm pretty fun with. There's all these, there's all kinds of oddities on this table from my playing around in alpha. Like, see, here's my improved cube from that one I was showing you over there.
I got you. Now you can actually create something pretty similar to this, just by hold on a second.
Oh, you're using your quarter voxels, yeah, or the 1/8.
Just let me get this set up right quick. All right, so We basically have just a basic reactor. If I select that whole entire thing and then I start smoothing it, I think I went too far on it. Basically, we're using this, but if we replace the center voxel now, see how it stretches it? And if I could take that down to a micro voxel and throw a micro voxel in that place, let me do that right quick. Something similar. It's not exactly the same, but you kind of get the idea at least.
Oh, for those strings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like I said, it's similar. It's not the same, but it's kind of similar at least.
Yeah, actually, to make the strings that I was showing, like over on that table there, when you build your mold, you just cut out diagonally the two voxels from the center one and the corner one. You just do it out of there. So they'll give you the same thing. It's kind of cool with molds. They give you the nice strings in whatever direction you cut the air. That's not too bad. I use that method a little bit differently on doing some resizing on voxel reactors.
Oh, I gotcha.
Have you ever seen this for doing an offset in a voxel reactor? Or I'll show you exactly.
Okay.
Say we have, so we'll just, this green one there, this overextended one. So say I just want to take one of the corners and then pull that position of the voxel and then make voxel and the entire voxel stand in that corner. What we do to make the 8 to get like complementary corners. So what I've done is basically these 4 blocks of this place are the 4 bottom handles of the reactor, just for the working purposes right now. We put them together. I'll just copy one corner over there. Place it into the corner position here. And then replace these 7 other yellow handles back over top of the reactor. In the same positions that they would come out of this one down here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's some pretty interesting way to like totally offset a standard voxel, that's for sure.
There. So we just took the one position and found the other quick corners for the reactor by just inputting the one design we want, and then that acts as a marker to pull all the rest to that position, and then we separate them again to move the voxel to that location. So this can be done with anything from corners, weird shapes. Not you could just take one of the corners that you find interesting, go throw it in this, make the other new 7, and then see what you come up with. It's a nice transfer tool.
Yeah, that's really interesting how it like literally offsets the whole entire thing.
Yep, and this one's pretty cool because the ownership is not attached to the visual. This is where Roman vectors really gets interesting. There's the ownership in my selection box, but there's the visual out there.
Yeah, I've got it on my screen right now. I'm literally like having this selected, even though it's way the heck outside of it. It's really freaking cool. See, this is why I like bringing like somebody else onto the show every once in a while, because they have like a totally different perspective on like how the game works and stuff like that. And I really appreciate you coming to do this, Draco.
Oh, not a problem. I love to share. Anybody who knows me again knows I like to come and help with this. So I try to look for avenues to get more out. So, and as you can tell with this too, even though the visual is away from the ownership, the collision still works on the visual. And that's pretty important because that means that the collision is actually linked with the matched out with the actual voxel ownership. And a lot of neat stuff can be done with that, because if you have a problem where the ownership boxes will distort the voxel, whereas this visual box will not distort it. So, for instance, do you have an intricate inlay here or something? Put this green box off the case?
I'm not sure if I have anything here. Well, how about this up here? Can we use the inlay stuff from the board?
Yeah, here, I'll just copy this green one over around one of these, just to show you.
Okay.
There we go. So I placed this block here, and see, doesn't affect nothing. If you didn't know by percent normal voxel there, those three shapes should have been all affected by it.
That actually solves one hell of a problem. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been working with this to solve a lot of problems actually, that's visual over it and keeping the ownership away from my work so that I can pull off some pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, if we can work with this offset like this and actually manipulate the voxel into the shape that we're actually wanting, that, oh my gosh, being able to overlay stuff like, or voxels like that is really freaking badass.
Yeah, well, that's how I did that mesh up here. That screen I was working on back here.
Yeah.
This is the same principle. I've been just overlapping. The ownership is not even close to these. And I was where it doesn't really connect with the ones beside it. And I'm overlapping the visual parts. Same with these spikes. If you look at my reactor spike, look where the spike up the spike comparison to the ownership.
Oh yeah. So
the back side where I connect the spike can just pretty much sink in and touch something without distorting it. So this is where this is going to be really useful, because you pull off stuff like this where this is what people were trying to build, and getting not because stuff would distort. You know, and trying to figure out a way around it. Well, this is a way of doing it by using Roman vectors. We can actually push our shapes out to a spot where we don't affect anything else there for smart about how we design that piece.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I love this design, by the way. It looks really cool.
Well, it was kind of inspired from you talking about your lattice, so I thought I'd sit here and kind of do a work along with you, the idea.
That is really cool. So pretty much everything that he pretty much just went over all led to how he can actually create this type of an item. I mean, everything from the offsets. A lot of this is pretty much, some of this is offsets at least. Just the various different shapes and how they've pressed together and whatnot. Everything from playing with air to, well, pretty much all of us playing playing with air, and of course the new way that the actual voxels react, and that's why he's able to extrude this spike the way he has and offset it. That's really cool.
And you'll notice on the bottom frame and the top of the frame are extended voxels can come and meet up to the lattice. So there's these nice clean looking connections, but there's actually a lot of air there between.
Yeah, see the spike tips are way out here. That is where that spike actually resides. It does not reside on the inside where the lattice work is. And these lattice pieces are basically an offset in a way as well. Man, I'm gonna have to wrap my head around that lattice. That is crazy, dude.
Well, this string here, if you look at this reactor, this is another thing to take note of. So if we're looking straight on the reactor, notice that the two on my side are high and the two on your side are low.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the two on your side. I mean, those are the four corners of the box, and on my side, the four corners of the box. I mean, we're seeing a string, but you always consider these are still boxes, no matter what. So when I grab this, I'm going to grab it and show you a quick demonstration. Now, on my side, the boxes were high, so if I lay out from me to you, we're going to create the panel high. But if I lay out towards me, the panel goes low. See? So this is called directional laying. And then what we could do with this is do some stuff like mirroring. So what I could do is then go like this. I can move it over, mirror it, and then it will take from the top to the bottom. That give me that angle piece. And there's the ownership of the angle right there. The selection box is showing me the ownership of where that angle resides towards it. So then I just take that in consideration when I want to use it, that I have the rest of that visual to overlap if I need to.
And that's pretty much how you got the lattice created, using that offset string there, I guess. I'm not even sure what to call it. All right, let me see if I can grasp this here right quick. Let me start back from the scratch here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I copied that string out from the center here. I'm going to paste it. One to the left. One to the right. So one in the center, one to the left, and then one to the right, and it's created that shape. Now if I grab that one and copy it and paste it, and I bring that up, paste one that way, mirror it, bring it down, and paste it,
there we go.
I can create that that lattice work. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Paste one there, mirror it, bring it up, paste it again. So there we go. We've got, oh man, that is, oh dude, that is so freaking wicked.
Yeah, and this is like, if you really look at it, it's directional laying. So we could program a different shape out of one side of the box compared to the other side. And it helps too, like For example, even like we see it all the time, like say this spike here I made, it's directionally set up too. Because if I lay this stick out from bottom to top, the bottom's always squared off, right? And we know that. Same thing happens with that string. Saying that if we go down the other way, it's going to fall on the string above it, because that's the shape on the top side of it. Kind of like a cookie cutter. It's got a shape on the bottom that cookie cuts square, and it's got a cookie cutter shape on the top that cuts as a wire.
Wow, that's cool.
So when I consider this all as directional laying, that's a principle of the game that probably will never leave. So we can use that for our advantage by always pre-planning which way we want to lay something out to get the shape that you desire.
It's fighting with me.
And watch out with this wire that was created on top of this pipe, because I used the CVV one, which is pretty much an invisible voxel until it's laid into a plate.
Yeah, I was playing around with this one here, and I'm getting this a pretty strange shape out of this. I put it nose to nose to see if it would over cross step itself, but that didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it.
Yeah, there's some oddities still when you put the selection boxes close together, or the ownership boxes close together when you have a roaming voxel in the shape. There's still no real good rules yet that I'm still experimenting on. Is what's contributing to certain deformations we get when we have the selection boxes or the ownership boxes together, but the shapes are apart.
Okay, I've got a question inside of chat right now. Karain is asking, how do you make that shape inside of this reactor?
How did I make the shape in there?
Yes.
Originally, I got that from with doing lines like everybody else. The line tool has all the roaming vectors, so I just found one where the points were up high. Because when I grab something out of the line tool, I'll quickly come and put it into a reactor, and then I'll study the handles. And when I see a handle that's unique, like these ones here go to the center points, and they're writing the halfway markers, the one being an outside handle going to the outside half, and then the one being a bottom handle going all the way through 1.5 boxes. So these handles are very important to find. So then I'll catalog them, and then I'll take the handles and I'll put them together to make shapes that are useful.
All right, so I'm assuming that this one here, let me select this one so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm assuming that one right there was the one that you pulled from a line tool with the Roman vectors, and that's pretty much the one you started with. And you basically just mirrored it onto itself for the other side, and then mirrored it in the opposing direction for the top side. And the combination of those two, I'm not sure, it was probably another one that actually created the top one. I've got the feeling it was, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, the top or the bottom two close to you and the top two, to me, the long ones, came from another tool, Roman vector.
Yeah, I had that feeling.
I also had these outside ones. You had it right, basically. This is a mix of two different reactors I have from two different shapes I found. And see, and this one quickly reverts back to a perfect the longest string right now in the game is if we just take the bottom and copy it to the top.
That is pretty cool. Still blows my mind. It really does. This Roman vector stuff has really fixed a lot of stuff, but it's also broken a few stuff in the process, but the good outweighs the bad.
So if you notice, that's the same string, but there's no additional pieces in it to make it cut off like this. Yeah, it's directional. Now it will just lay out normally like a plate. So, but the good thing is when you're working with reactors, you could like keep two high to retain the length of the string, and then take two other handles that are playable, so you can move them around. I can actually take these two red ones, and they're more centered, they're right in the center.
Yeah, this the red ones look like a zero voxel reactor of some sort.
Yeah, the red ones are from the CDB.
Yeah, that definitely looks familiar.
They're absolute zero.
And I'm guessing that the ones from the bottom were created using the Roman vector size that was something like this one over here.
Yeah, that green one pulled out down below.
Wow.
And now
wow.
change those two locations there, the red ones, on that string. Now watch what the string does when we lay it out.
You probably, yes. Wow.
So it's got two halves of a plate instead of a full plate because we knocked down the voxel on the other side. So in a way, that's like a C.
Wow, that is cool.
Well, Mr. Vulcan?
Thanks for the follow there, Pendles. That's some really crazy stuff, man. Yeah, it blows my mind because I haven't never worked with this this type of shape before, so it's new to me too. So it's freaking awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. We've gone over a crap ton of mess tonight. Oh my god. I might have to freaking push back the water wheel one.
Great.
Man. And he's still over here playing with... Oh, that's so cool. Got some chevrons going on. Oh my god, those chevrons look good.
What's nice about when you have the flat plate stuff, you can make the instant mega version of it.
That is wicked. Yours hurts? Oh, so does mine. Wow. This is crazy. That's some really cool stuff. Really. Yeah, I'm going to be playing with this for quite some time. Just so I can wrap my head around it. Because, man, there's so much that can come from this.
Oh, I know. Like, this stuff here is just You know, they opened up another can of worms for us. It's kept me quite busy actually trying to figure it out. Now this is showing off by the rendering bugs right there. This is something that can't be solved right now until they fix it.
That actually shows up in a lot of stuff, and no matter what you do, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's Zuji has a workaround, but what it does is actually change the shape a little bit, so you don't exactly get the shape you want. But I mean, it is something they should fix because theoretically, like I did these stars, and I have what should work.
What, Mr. Vulcan?
But it's not
Bald King, thanks for the follow.
It kind of pisses you off when you do the work, the math, and everything makes sense, but the game is saying no. Here, these two stars.
Yeah, I've seen
mine is
this.
Black star I was working on. And what we're trying to do is get the point on the front here, you know, like a badge on a colonel or a general or whatever. But my bottom left here, the way I'm facing it, the rendering bug is catching that piece and not allowing it to come out as a point. And see, Zuji took, with zero volume Voxel, was able to fix that rendering bug on this star, but if you look at it, bottom two, he sacrificed symmetry of the star on the bottom to fix it.
That's pretty cool. Really cool.
This way is I like to show, like in the dev team, this is, you know, this star up there should work because the piece on the right, or the bottom right part of the star is identical to the left part of the star, so they should be the same. Yeah, the rendering issue causes this flatness to happen.
What, Mr. Vulcan?
War Machine, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
Eventually that one should fix. You know, they're going to fix that corner reset bug with the delete and stuff coming up. Hopefully that's part of that fix list.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. The first time I saw these was over at Lady Kathleen's. She had 5 of them sitting up on one of her walls, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And when she had her place deleted, and I went over there and helped her rebuild it, and we built it and rebuilt her pretty much her whole entire place in like, oh my god, I think it was like 2.5 days or something. We rebuilt her museum, and she ended up putting up some of these stars up on the wall there. Thanks for the follow, Tane. Welcome to the stream.
I love that one. That's the one that's offset by half, so you can place it back and forth with itself. Yeah, this set actually was, I made the star starting with the challenge on the forums. Someone asked to make a star.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting challenge because it's literally let's see, 3 primary different shapes, correct?
3 different, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes.
Well, I'm thinking of the left and right as being the same, just mirrored. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, the left and right, and then there's the center. All the 3 center voxels are different.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's really wicked. Really wicked.
Yeah, this one actually, Zuji did a graph paper version of it and posted it.
What, Mr. Vulcan?
Actually, I just quickly took a look at the pieces from that picture and was able to recreate the voxels in the game.
Red Ox 77, thanks for the follow and welcome to the stream.
Then she wanted to fight it star, and that's when Zuji and myself were both trying to fight because I was showing him like almost get it, but this damn corner was really bugging me. And he went out and was able to pull it off, which was awesome. Easily. he's definitely more of an engineer about with him than I am. I'm more of an artist programmer. Take on it.
I'm just a redneck.
I'm a gas fitter by trade, but I've been programming for over 10 years now in C#, so I have a little bit of understanding of game mechanics.
Yeah, I play an idiot, but yeah, I program in 6 languages, and I've got several certifications, but I'm just a redneck. I just play.
Do you work in C# at all?
Negative. I don't play with C# too much. Mine is usually, I mean, I worked a little bit in C++, but I never messed with C# very much. I used to program in COBOL, Fortran, God knows. Let's see, I'm trying to think of all the languages outside of web programming, at least. Java, God, Ruby, Python, a little bit of mix of everything, but I pick up on stuff pretty quickly, though.
Well, Mr. Bunker?
It's mixed for looking at a good foundation for this game. Although this engine is something we haven't seen yet. Don't think any of us have seen the code to this type of engine yet, so a lot of it's guessing.
Oh my God, Mr. Bucket. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to get off my ass and start working with freaking C++ again. And
Well, Mr. Bunker?
Zena, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Definitely need to get back on to working with C++ and C# again, because, I mean, like I said, I just need to get off my ass and do it.
Yeah, but still my side project. I run an RPG server that's mainly under Voxel Online. It's coded in C#, so I've been working on that for like a decade by now.
I gotcha.
Got it flying to, have you ever played Ultima?
No.
No? Okay.
I really didn't get into the whole MMO RPG stuff until kind of a little bit later in the game. I've always been a first-person shooter guy up into, you know, the early portion of my whole thing, because I used to play Delta Force back in the day, if you remember that game. And I played that I played that for a long time, and then I got into the MMOs when which was Asheron's Call 2. And I played that for quite some time. Left that, went to Final Fantasy 11. I was a badass in that game. Then
I beta tested that game, actually.
Did you know that they brung back Asheron's Call 2?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they brung that game back, and I actually run a website that is basically geared to nothing but Asheron's Call 2. But they kind of fell short on doing any real changes to the game, so I kind of backed out of it and started doing other stuff. But I played, you know, World of Warcraft like everybody else, and I've played so many freaking MMOs it's almost unreal. And I took a big hiatus for a while, and then all of a sudden I found out that, you know, EQ Next was coming along, and I was like, holy crap! And then so I jumped into Landmark, and I got in here, and I've just been blown away with, you know, the technical side of the game, and I'm loving it.
Oh, same here. I'm loving this. This actually is the first game that's been able to pull me away from my project and working on my own RPG.
Yeah, for those that had never played Delta Force, it was probably the first, how can I say it? the first modern age first-person shooter game and MMO, or where you can actually play against other people. And the maps were literally huge. You could literally sit on the top of a mountain somewhere and snipe people, and they never see you.
How old are you, Tim?
I am 39 years old.
Okay, we're about the same age. Actually. That's why we know, or what you're saying is so familiar to me, but probably not familiar to people that are younger.
Yeah, my first computer was a Commodore 64, and from there I built my own ever since after that.
My first system of anything was the bomb system back in the 70s. Little wooden box paddles.
Wow. Well, this is wicked.
And the combo.
I will say, I really do appreciate you coming over and going through all this stuff that you have tonight. It's freaking amazing, dude. Some of this is like the other side of Voxelmancy that I had really never taken an interest into, but now that I've seen all this, I'm really freaking interested in, playing more with these Roman vectors. Like, seriously.
Well, what it does, Tim, in my opinion, is allows to do what people think are the impossible, which I think is the next level of building in the game. Is to do stuff that other people think that can't be done. But, if you sit there and just figure it out, there's ways of doing it now with the Roman vectors. Now the big challenge is to find all these handles, just like, when we start working reactors in the first place, the boards basically were our shape boards to try and find corner positions.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing with this for the next week. I can already see it.
Here, and I'll drop you a board to play with as well. It's got all the Roman vector stuff that's there's a few people that are putting stuff. I've been putting a few things to it. It's where we've been sharing it so that everyone gets a head start at kind of play with these shapes and find out more stuff. And hopefully it gets back to the board so that we can create a nice one, organized one down the road.
All right. Well, you're more than welcome to come anytime, man, and do any kind of tutorial you want to. I do my streaming on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 7 till pretty much 11:30, 12 o'clock, something around like that. And but yeah, you're more than welcome to come over here and do some tutorial stuff here, because I mean, most of my crowd, they're here to learn. It's probably more than anything. So yeah, you're more than welcome to come. And if you've got any guys that has that, that kind of technical background, free field to let them know as well.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is probably on Thursdays. I teach on Saturdays over at the Curve for the Visionary Community. So we have our thing Saturday nights at 8. But I'll talk. I know Zuji wants to get into some workshops and stuff. He's just busy with them right now. There's a few other guys in there that are interested. Bird Star and her leading work now with the Roman vector. She started to count a lot of this as well. So I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of us together as a Roman teachers. It would be nice.
Well, I'm definitely interested. So, if you need an extra hand or whatever, just give me a call, man.
Well, we could start like this. Like I was saying, this here is like a collection so far. Zach and myself, love madly. I think she's done a little bit of work with my husband on this. I know I'm moving out people, but it's the collection up to now. But it's useful because this gets you a little bit of a head start at playing around with the Roman vectors. And try to come up with some ones that we don't have here yet. So all the handles to use.
I'm going to ask you a question, and it's up to you whether you will allow it or not. But do you mind if I put this on the board claim?
Oh no, go ahead. We're about sharing, so that's goes along with our model.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have this on the board claim because I have a board claim that I open up on Saturday for about an hour. And, you know, I let people come over and get whatever copies they want. And, yeah, it'd be awesome to be able to get that up there. I really do appreciate that, man. I'm pretty sure everybody else will, too.
I already have some of my boards over there, like the line board, Start Cards and myself.
All right, so cool.
We like to get it out there so it helps people out.
Awesome.
To me, there shouldn't be a competition amongst helping each other learn. I mean, everybody's going to build and build some good stuff. And everybody, it's like art. No one fights over the paint. Well, we paint and come up with our own individual paintings as a whole. That's no different. Those are things I think are valuable for player studio and such. But the pieces, the paints, the brushes, you know, this is stuff that we can all work together at.
All right, cool. Well, man, I can't say it enough. I really appreciate you coming over and hanging out.
Not a problem. Was there anything that I talked about tonight that you're just maybe unfair with you or anybody?
Hey guys, just wanted to tell you, man, just tuned in after doing something else with somebody else, but I just looked at that and that is very nice. Gotta give you guys props on that lattice work. Fucking awesome, guys.
Oh, well, that one right there was the easy one. You ought to see this one here, Daddy-O. Just wait, you'll see it on the screen here in a minute. This shit's gonna blow your mind.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is some of Draconius's work here. He's got some really wicked stuff that he showed us tonight and how to do it and whatnot. And oh man, it's really pretty awesome.
Wow, I'd definitely be watching this on replay, Tim. And like I said, I was busy, so I couldn't see the whole thing. But yeah, man, very nice stuff, guys. Props to you both.
Thank you.